Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is Yahaira and this is Liz Budgets, and on my channel I bring you weekly cash stuffing and budget with me videos. And in today's video it'll be a cash stuffing for a total of $845. Let's go ahead and count this all out and make sure it's all here. So we have 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 550, 570, 590, 610, 630, 650, 670, 690, 710, 730, 750, 760, 70, 80, 90, 800, 800, 8, 10, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 41, 2, 3, 4, 5, for a total of 845. Hope you guys are having a good week. Hope you had a good couple of weeks. We are playing major catch up on videos this week because we just got back from our trip to Japan this past weekend. It was lots of fun. The first about week or so was a lot of adventuring. The last couple days of the trip, once we got to Tokyo, was more shopping than adventuring, because from what we discovered, there were things to see in Tokyo, but a lot of it's a lot more for shopping than anything else. Because literally, we took 3 suitcases. I had my carry-on, and then we took 2 full-size luggages because I figured we're gonna buy a lot of things while we're there, right? When we left, we went from let me backtrack a little bit. I'll give you guys a quick little rundown. So we landed in Tokyo, spent the day there, because I know we could, in theory, have gone straight to Kyoto from there, but just the idea of having flown 11 hours and then having to deal with figuring out how to get our Suica cards, that's their commuter pass for the subways and everything, figuring out how to get that, and then getting our luggage and everything there, it's just it would have been too much. I feel so we spent the one day in Tokyo, did a little bit of exploring, but not a whole lot because we were just tired. And then the next day we went over to Kyoto. So that was a pretty big travel day. We took the bullet train there, and it was about, I think, a 2.5 hour ride, something like that, or 3 hours, something like that. So got to Kyoto, killed some time at the station, and then went to our Airbnb, and that was a whole fiasco because we got confused with the signs, and then my Suica card broke, and it was just a whole mess. And then we spent pretty much that whole week in Kyoto. We spent Monday through Saturday in Kyoto, and from Kyoto we were going to Osaka and Hiroshima and stuff like that. And then we went to Kawaguchiko, which is a little town right near Mount Fuji. Spent a day and a half there, or I guess technically 2 whole days, because we got there Saturday afternoon, had all of Sunday, and left Monday morning. I guess the day and a half is more accurate because it was early Monday that we left. And then from there we went back to Tokyo and spent the rest of the trip there. So we went a little bit over budget, so I did have you'll see it in my Lambo Fuel envelope. I ended up taking it from that envelope because that's the one that made the most sense. So we went a little over budget, but that's okay, because we can pull from places for that. And then we're doing work for my in-laws this month, so we'll be getting paid for that, so I can replace what I had to take for that. But yeah, it was lots of fun. Definitely want to go back. We have places I was keeping. I have a little journal. I need to finish journaling. I fell way behind journaling really quick. But I was keeping track of where we ate and stuff, so that way when we go back, we have places that we could we want to go back to eat at. But yeah, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Like I said, we have a lot of catching up to do, just in general with videos and stuff. I have to do this stuffing for, I think it's technically the 2nd week of, or 3rd week of September, and then do the videos for this week, and then do a cash condensing. So lots of videos coming out to catch up. But starting off with our variable spending, groceries is getting $20 for this stuffing, which I'll mention it again in my next video, so now it has $20. My envelopes will be a little bit funky because since we're catching up, they're not going to get emptied out as they usually do, so you'll see a little more envelope than you usually do in these envelopes, just because of that. Pups is up next, and this week it's getting 110 as a 100 and a 10. So Pups now has 100, 110, 120, 130, 135, 136, and 137. And Ash is going to the vet next week to get some vaccines that she's due for. But the good thing about that, though, is I forget how it happened with her. It might have been COVID thing, too, where she ended up, some of her vaccines, ended up drifting apart. They weren't at the same time anymore. So I've been working towards getting them all back together, or at least getting it down to 2 visits a year instead of 3 or 4 because of how apart they are. So we finally did it with the 1 set, so we're down to 2 appointments. I don't know if we can ever get it back down to 1 appointment a year, but 2 is way better than the 3 or 4 we were dealing with. So eating out is up next, and that's getting 60 as 320s. 20 went wild. So eating out now has 20, 40, 60. Fun is up next, and that's getting 30 as a 20 and a 10. My bank is still dealing with some really crispy 10s, which is nice, but then like I used to in my beginning when I count, it makes it kind of hard to count because they're all sticking together. Fun now has $20, $30. Up next is gas, and she's getting $20 as a 20. So gas now has 20, 40, 20, 40, 20, 30, 40. Oh, so probably I'll get stuff somewhere else because gas went down a little bit more since we got back. So I don't think we'll need that little cushion that I was putting on just in case we needed it. Ash's food's not getting stuffed. Costco is though, and that's getting its usual 30 as a 20 and a 10. Let me put this around this raggedy 10 so we can make it easier. So Costco now has 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, 71, 2, 3, 4 for a total of $74. I also just finally found a real, because I don't know how many of you guys are aware of it, but there is outlet stores out there that will resell things from Costco, like including food stuff that gets returned. Usually because it's like, oh, like the box is a little bit damaged. Sometimes it'll be like, I was open, the person who had one didn't like it, and so then they're reselling it. But I've always tried to, kept trying to find one here, but I never had any luck. But then I saw an article this morning someone posted in the neighborhood, like I think it's Neighbors page, where talking about like ones in California. So I finally found some near us. So I'm gonna check them out maybe this week, maybe next week, and see if they're any good and if I can find any good deals in them. Because just looking at their sites, there's some really great deals to be had, but it just all depends on what they have in stock, which changes all the time. So we'll see. Up next is my personal binder. I'm getting 35 as a 20, a 10, and a 5. So I now have 20, 35. Yeah. Books is still fully stuffed. Lambeau Field. Let's correct this for right now. So we're gonna take this down to 500. But like I said, we're doing some work for my in-laws this month, so I'll be getting paid for that. So I'll be able to replace that bit that I took from there. So this week it's getting its usual 15 as a 10 and a 5. So Lambeau Field now has 500, 550, 600, 620, 30, 40, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 72, 3, 4, 5 for a total of 675. I'm also kind of bummed. I had an interview yesterday for a job that would have been really close by, but the company was a retirement plan consultation company. So pretty much what it means is companies that want to offer a retirement plan to their employees come to them. They get a plan designed for them, like depending on what their needs are and what they want to achieve. And then, so the company does both the plan design side and then the compliance side. So just making sure every year that, like, that the plans are still in compliance with IRS code, that the contributions are being done properly and how they should be and all this stuff. So the position I interviewed for was an assistant for the accounting side. So the part helping with the compliance and all that stuff. And I was open to trying it out. I'd much rather pursue, like financial planning and investment planning, but I'm open to it, trying it. But the problem is that position doesn't, it's like, if I was to try it, I would like a way to get to the plan design part, because I wouldn't want to stay in compliance forever. And another reason why I'm open to it is just for learning, it's like, I don't have a whole lot of practical hands-on experience with this stuff. So like learning about it, like I'm more than open to doing like stuff like the compliance side until I get my bearings about me and really learn how things work. But like I said, the problem is they don't offer any way up to the consultation side or the plan design side. That's strictly the owners, and they don't ever bring anyone else on for that. The only thing I could do is move on from assistant to like being the lead for the compliance and all those checks. So unfortunately that didn't work out, but it's an interview. Fingers crossed that more come. But I'm still in the middle of studying for my CFP exam. I'm gonna take a couple more licensing tests after the CFP exam. So fingers crossed, things are coming my way as I get that stuff done. And just with having my 65 already, that things keep rolling in. But we'll see. Up next is our savings challenge binder. And this week we are stuffing $24 as a 20 and $4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So in this we now have 20, 40, 50, 51, 2, 3, 4. So let's go ahead and cross out all these 4s and then the 2 2s. I think I mentioned it before, but just a reminder, I think after this month I'm taking a small break from saving challenges, and I'm debating about bringing them back at the beginning of next year. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. I know it's just little bits, but well, our next one would be bigger. Would be bigger amounts. Like it's a scratch off one. Here, let me show you guys actually. I got this saving challenge from Intentional Living last year when I ordered for her Black Friday sale, and she included this for the day that I made the order, and it's a scratch off one. So like this first one I scratched to see how much the amounts were. It's $10 and $30, so it'd be a more hefty one. So, and just with the amount of things that we have to save for and like things we want to do, I'm just like, I don't know if I should be doing saving challenges and just instead just putting that money straight into the things we need to get done. So we'll see. I'm kind of ruminating on it. Up next is our first savings challenge, sinking funds binder. This one's more for priority / has an end date goals. Corolla registration is stuffed. Christmas is stuffed. Durango registration is up first. This is technically isn't due till February, but I just want to start getting ahead on the goals for next year. Just because, like I said, we have a lot that we want to get done and work on. So just getting a little bit ahead on that. So this week it's getting 125 as a 100, a 20, and a 5. So during registration, we now have 100, 20, and 5. 125. Not quite sure how much the registration will be next year, but hopefully less than this past year. Is there hair in there? Mini trip is not being stuffed yet. Gifts is done stuffed for the year. Electronics is up next, and that's getting $10 as a 10. So it now has $10. And then that'll do it for this binder. And then we got our last sinking funds binder. This is more for never ending goals / not priority goals. Starting off with car maintenance. This week she's getting $50 as a 50. So in car maintenance, we now have $100, $200, $300. Then we have $350, $400, $420, $430, $435. And this 20 has a little bent corner. There we go. And I do owe Logan like $30 because he got a new battery for his motorcycle to try to finally sell that thing. Because I really don't want to pay for the registration next month or in November. Up next is medical, and she's getting a whopping $300, which reminds me I need to call a dentist to make Logan a appointment so we can see what's that going to end up looking like. So I really, if he only needs his wisdom teeth cleaned, I think I'm going to revisit and see what this will look like if I can pull back any to put that more money towards either our emergency fund or towards like some of the house stuff to start getting the ball rolling on that. But we'll see. First, we need to get the appointment done and see what happens. So on medical, we now have 100, 200, 300, 400, 5, 6, 7, 800, 850, 870, 890. So we're just aggressively building her up. And then we have clothes up next. And that's getting 5 as a 5. So clothes now has 20, 40, 45, 50, 55. And then lastly, new car is getting this last little bit. Sir, get that 10. And on that one. So a new car, we now have $100 in the bank, 50, 200 to 20, 40, 50, 55, 60, 61, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. A total of 268. Woohoo! She's getting up there. I'm wondering, let's see. We have 3 months left because September's over next week. So I think we'll be a little bit shy of hitting 500 in that, but that's okay. We make good progress in that for the year. But that'll do it for this week's video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. It really helps my channel. And like I said, it'll be a very packed week with content, just getting all caught up and getting back on track. But if you liked it, I hope to see you guys again. I usually say next week, but I'll see you guys some more this week for another set of budgeting videos with the budget with me and cash stuffing, and then with a cash condensing. Bye.